You're at 109 right now.
Hey, so we're back. All right, this is IC 109 episode. This is part two of Grandma Florence Speaks. And let's see, what can I say? This was recorded on June 6th, 2021, during my visit to Grandma. And what else can I say? Randy? Randy, you're here with me? What can you say? What do you want to say?
I don't know yet.
Okay, so Randy, you and I had an opportunity to record Grandma. It was probably 2000. It had
Maybe
to have been 2020 because it was during the pandemic.
well, you're always like trying to record her, but she put a stop to that.
Yes. So what you're listening to is what I was able to get from Grandma. She acquiesced, because I asked her to, and then subsequent times, on subsequent visits when I tried to record Grandma, she was adamant. Put that put that doggone cell phone away. Put those cameras away. Don't you do that. Don't you put out this. Da 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 da. She said all of that. She told me not to. So I was on her naughty list for a few weeks because I had because she had just basically jumped to the conclusion that anytime she saw me with the cell phone, holding it in my hand, that I was recording her, taking pictures of her unbeknownst to her. And, from part one, you can hear her. She knew very well that I was recording her. Okay, so this was no secretive stuff. I wasn't pulling anything behind grandma's back, nothing, none of that. This was all, to her knowledge. Um, But subsequent recordings, when I tried to record her, she denied me the opportunity. So I'm glad that I have what I have here. I'm glad that we have this. Personally, it's great to hear her and to listen, to return to that time, and to listen to her comments and to learn from her, her words and her experience is a blessing. I wish I had more content like this to listen to. And so anyway, what else do I want to say?
But I just want to say something that you two had so many like conversations, and she told many stories to you while I was in your presence with her. So I was very thankful to hear about and learn about those stories as well. So just too bad it didn't make it like on recording, of course. But yeah, it's
hmm Um,
so nice.
as I mentioned to Randy, as I'm speaking to the public, whomever is listening, family, but also the general public. Um, when Grandma lived alone, and so the only thing that came between a visitor to her home was basically the television. So Grandma's attention was only, well, maybe,
Bootsy.
okay, Bootsy, her dog, the television, if she's watching her shows, her programs, or if she was reading the Bible, And so, if you showed up any time and you did not conflict with any of those activities, she gave you her undivided attention. She granted you an audience, right? You could spend your time with grandma and she would talk with you and she'd listen to you and she'd offer her wisdom. So that part will be missed, of course. Sharing those moments and that those experiences. Um, One thing I want to mention is in the part one, I was trying to get grandma to tell the story about how people perceived her in Henderson, in her community. And grandma, if you listen to part one, she says, "Oh, we won't go there." But grandma told the story about how grandma was well taken care of. She was well heeled in the community, dressed well, and had a good education, a good foundation. And so the people in the community would say to her, "Oh, you just have your head in the clouds. You just think you miss all that. You just think yada yada yada." And to that, grandma responded, I don't think that. You think that for me. And I thought, wow, man, that is something that is one heck of a retort, a response to that, perceived jealousy or, envy, really. Yeah. So anyway, grandma's tough. Grandma is tough, will be tough, is always tough, And so all right, what is it? No more belaboring, no more, what is it? That's all I'm going to say about that. We're going to get back into part 2 and listen to grandma as Grandma Florence speaks. So we're going to get back into the thing. Randy, you want to say something before we get back into it?
No, you got it.
All right. So from part 1, all right, before I press play, I'm going to rewind about 30 seconds. So there will be some overlap. What you heard on part 1, you will also hear on part 2. This is part 2 of Grandma Florence Speaks. And here we go. Oh, yeah, station identification.
You're at 109 right now.
Here we go.
Be empty.
For what else?
The trash cans got to go out Tuesday. Go out Monday evening for Tuesday. I got to call DWP. They supposed to come and trim this tree this month. All that dust. Oh.
You haven't planted anything right here.
Huh?
You didn't plant anything there.
No, I was deciding that. I don't know yet. I might go over to Home Depot and find me some more seeds. I might need to go to Lowe's. That's where I like to go, to Lowe's. Larry, yes. Right there where your right hand is in that lemon tree. See those leaves right there? Right there. I got a lot of them out myself the other day. One day. Don't let them get over in the vegetables. When they get a little bit larger, I gotta thin them out. You heard about that incident in Oklahoma?
Well, what happened?
Huh?
What happened?
How they killed up all those black people?
No.
It's been on the news on PBS.
There were black people?
A whole town of them.
Oh, you're talking about 100 years ago. Yeah. Black Wall Street.
Yep. What about it? I don't know. What about it?
What about it? What happened?
What
do you think about it?
The Ku Klux Klan and those honkies killed them up. Ooh, excuse me.
I think it's really, I really like hearing Viola Fletcher. Viola Fletcher is 107 years old, and she talked to the subcommittee about Black Wall Street, and she told them that she was 9 years old, I believe, when that happened. And she said that she had okay, Bootsy.
she said she hadn't made a lot of money in her lifetime. And I thought about it and I said, well, see,
It's not about money, it's how you live.
yes, absolutely. But there are some experiences that we can have that money affords us. And when we are taken, when an opportunity or when money, when resources are taken from us, then, you know, our lives can be diminished in some
Yeah,
ways.
it's a way that you carry yourself that it doesn't. My mom and daddy was respected by every white person in Henderson, North Carolina.
Hmm.
My whole family. We could go downtown shopping and everybody knew who they were. They were Robert Scott and Gertrude Scott's children. And if we did anything wrong, the white people called mother and daddy just like the black ones did.
Hmm.
I'm going to tell you, you know my cousin Raymond?
Yes.
He was born and raised in New York. But he came home when I think he was 7, and I was 5, I think. Anyway, we grew up like this,
Yes.
like we were sisters and brothers.
Yes.
Well, we went to school together. His mother died, so he stayed in Henderson. But we could have caused a riot right there in Henderson if they didn't know us.
Oh.
Because they had 4 or 5 white drugstores on Main Street. We only had one black drugstore. I don't know why we got out of church. My dad had bought me a camera, and I went to People's Drugstore. That was the first one on the corner of Montgomery Street and Main Street. Stood at the counter at the front of the store,
Yes.
and they came up there. Well, you know, you're not supposed to be up here. You go to the back of the store.
Wow.
I didn't come in here to go to the back of the store. I came in here to buy some films, but since you're going to be like that, I don't want to buy nothing. And we walked out.
Wow.
So then we went down to Parker's drugstore, sat in the red booth. You know you're not supposed to sit in the red booth. You can't be served there.
Wow.
Oh, we didn't want anything anyway. Then we went to Woodard's drugstore.
Wait, this is all in the same day?
Uh-huh.
Wait a minute. You guys were really trying to incite a riot.
No, we weren't trying. We just, I don't know, just stupid.
Oh.
You know. So then we went to Woodard's and we're going to read the magazines and all. You're not supposed to. If you're going to buy a magazine, just buy it.
Yes.
You don't read it and sit down and read it. But anyway.
Well, that's always
we
been...
went on down to the black drugstore.
Yes.
And then Mr. What was that man's name? Oh, God, I can see him right now. Douglas.
Yes.
Gonna tell us. If you want a magazine, because we were sitting there reading the magazines, if you want to read the magazines, you buy it. Sounds just like the old white man. So we sat there and ate our ice cream and all. Then the other kids started coming in. But when we got back to my house, my mother says, "What happened today? What happened what? What happened at People's Drugstore?" Ain't nothing happened at People's Drugstore.
Oh.
They knew.
Yes.
So they just called up and told on us.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I find it interesting that, you know, in America, or I guess around the world, but just like going to read a magazine, you know, we feel this this impulse, or this we feel like it's the custom that if we go into a store that we have to buy something. And I wish things were more decent, where you could stand and read and take your time rather than feel...
Well, it's not like that because it's just limited space, for one thing. And if everybody came in there and sat down and read books, they wouldn't have any book sales.
Right.
So, I mean, they're protecting themselves and their products and all.
I guess life would be a lot different if if we didn't feel that way, feel that we had to, buy and then take it and go somewhere else to enjoy it, and
That's
instead,
just for books and papers. Because I mean, I go in all stores. If I don't, I mean, I shop up and down every aisle, every aisle. You've been to the store with me.
yes, but also restaurants, or maybe not restaurants, but fast food places. You know, I remember hearing a story about some men, I think in Korea, who would go into a McDonald's and they would stay for hours. And then at some point, people said, "You can't stay here for hours.
You
You
know
have to
what?
buy
My
or get out of
Filipino
here."
friend and I, after we took the kids to school out in Orange County, we went to McDonald's and we ordered a 3 cup of coffee. We had something else to go with it, but at that time they gave seniors. And they let us sit in there long as we wanted. Every booth was just about full of people. So it's not all places, but then you have the rush hours.
Yes,
And you can go to a restaurant. Don't go on a holiday, Mother's Day, Father's Day,
yes.
because they're going to rush you out. They got people standing out in line.
Hmm.
I don't go no place on a day like that.
That makes sense at a time like that. That makes sense. Yeah.
But on the whole, I've never been bothered about get up and get out. We go to McDonald's and just have us a cheap breakfast and laugh and talk and watch people go by and all. That's it.
Uncle Weldon said that when you guys lived in the desert, that you would, whenever there was a big storm, that you would take out the Bible or sit around in a circle together, or
That wasn't just in a big circle in a storm or anything. We
the
had what you call
powwows.
a powwow.
The powwows, yes.
Every Thursday we had a powwow.
Every Thursday, a powwow. You sat
A
in a
lot of
circle.
people say, we didn't sit in no circle.
No, no.
No, you sat around on the couches and in a chair.
Yes.
And each child had to open with a prayer.
Oh,
Every week, a different child opened the meeting up with a prayer. And they had to read a scripture from the Bible. When my kids got 8 years old, they got their own Bibles. I knew they could read then.
Grandma, you could have your own Bible study right now and have some of your
My-
children or some grandchildren come over for a powwow on a Thursday.
I'm not that. There's things I do it myself every day. Every day I study the Bible. But I don't know, different interpretations and all, because I still go along with the King James Version. And these people have written the Bible, and God said you don't change any words in the Bible. And people have their different definitions, interpretations of it. I'm reading from the New Word of Life, and I'm reading from the New Vision, whatever. I don't go for that. The King James Version people, oh, this thou thus. So what? If you got any sense, you know what it means.
So, who gave you the idea to have a powwow?
Me, myself, and I,
Okay.
because I was determined my children weren't going to be raised looking like and doing like people in my neighborhood.
Now, my mom said after the powwow,
They got a spanking if they
yes,
did something wrong.
yeah.
Did she tell you I also told them they could whip me?
What?
I said, if you think I did something wrong, I deserve a whipping. You can come and whip me.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm. I gave them the opportunity to tell me what they thought I did wrong.
Oh,
It wasn't just about them.
right. Wow.
Mm-mm. Being a parent to me is different. A lot of people, I'll tell you a good example. If I say, Larry, Bring me a glass of water, please. Have you ever noticed that about me?
Yes. You
And
say
then I
please and
say,
thank you.
thank you.
Yes.
You know what people told me?
What's that?
Why you begging your children? I'm not begging my children.
You're
I'm
setting
treating my children like I want them to treat me.
setting the example, demonstrating for them.
You, Sasha and Lola's granddad asked me, how did you get them to say please and thank you?
Mm.
I said, first of all, I say please and thank you.
Yes.
And I tell them when to say it. They still say it.
Mhm.
You guys say it. Now, I got some kids, my very own kids. They won't say please and thank you to their kids. They won't say please and thank you to you. And it wasn't because they weren't taught. I taught my kids to say Mr. and Mrs. And I got some kids, they call people by their first name. I don't like that.
Mm-mm.
There's some young ladies I know. What's that?
No, I was just thinking about that soil being so compacted that you could have a lot more okra.
Mm-mm. I'm not worried about it because I got to thin that okra out. They're not supposed to be crowded like
Oh,
that.
okay. Well,
See,
they're surviving.
it's 2 and 3 in there.
Yes.
I got to take some of those out
Mm.
and spread them over here. I planted beets, but only one came up. I don't know why. Those are watermelon. They need to be spread out. See that grass in there? That green grass with the red on it?
Right here in front of us?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That, I come out here and pick it up. That's a wild.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of Grandma Florence Speaks. My final thoughts include number one, I'm proud to have constructed the garden, the raised beds in the backyard for Grandma. I did that. That was my showing respect and paying homage to my grandmother. Um, she just mentioned that she had watermelons growing there. Sadly, I never got to taste any of those watermelons. Um, but I'm glad that she was able to grow them. We had watermelons. She had watermelons, squash, red, green and yellow zucchini, green beans, okra, collard greens, eggplants. She had it all going on. Okay. Then one other last thing, another sad note. A few minutes in at the okay from the end of this recording, toward the end of it, a minute or two before the end, Grandma mentions Lola and Sasha's grandfather, and it's a I don't know, spooky coincidence that Dr. Jefferson passed away on the same day as Grandma, which now has been, what, 2 days ago? Today is the 21st, I believe.
Yes.
Today's the 21st. So they both passed on 119. So bittersweet. But, this recording is to pay homage to our ancestors, and to show our love and appreciation and respect for their legacies, and to carry on, the lessons that they have passed on to us through this recording. So that's what this is about. This is about love and respect. All right. And this is all we have, because Grandma said, no more recordings. You will not record me anymore. So Grandma, thank you. Thank you for this. So we have this to cherish. Um, we have this to use to cherish you and to remember you by, as well as all of the other moments that you were present with us. All right. So as we would always say, love you, grandma, and grandma would always respond, love you more, you know. So love you, grandma, and I know you love us more. All right. Station identification.
You're at 109 right now.
Randy, say something.
We love you, Grandma.
Mm-hmm.
And thanks for everything. You've been amazing.
All right. So to those who are listening, peace and blessings. We're out.